We all have these lines which seem to speak to us, which seem to have a message that we say, wow, what a line. And what we don't always realize is behind that line is often a fabulous story. Today, we're going to talk about one such line and one such story. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pi, our series of weekly videos where we try and share simple lessons on what it takes for us to be better leaders, better team players, really to become as good as we can be. Today's Chai with Pi is about a man called Gary Player. For those of you who know him, Gary was one of golf's all-time greats. And this is a story Gary says about a time when he was practicing on a golf course in Texas. So he was out there with all his bucket of balls and he was trying to get his bunker shots right. Now, for those of you not familiar with golf, bunkers are those sand pits that you find on the golf course. These are typically often placed right next to the green. So the idea is your ball could get stuck in the sand and then the player has to show his skill to come out and get as close to the hole or indeed put it in. Here was Gary trying to practice his bunker shots, and another man wearing a big hat came and stood by just to watch him practice. And Gary just took a swing and hit the first ball, and as luck would have it, the first ball that he hit came straight out of the sand and went onto the green and rolled into the hole. Now the man who was watching was quite surprised, and he looked at Gary and he said, "Hey, I'll bet you $50 if you can put the next one in." And Gary, of course, just goes back, takes another swing, and bang, the next ball too goes into the hole. Now that man is really kind of losing it, and he says to Gary, "Okay, I'll give you $100 if you can put the next one in too." And Gary swings, and guess what? The third ball also goes straight from the bunker onto the green and into the hole. The man then, of course, pulls out his wallet and he gives $150 to Gary. And he says to Gary, "You know what? I have never seen a man as lucky as you in my life." Gary takes the money and he says, "I've learned something. The harder I practice, the luckier I get." What a line. And what a player. What a story. I think it's true for all of us. Practice, deliberate practice, is at the heart of our getting better at whatever it is that we choose to do. Practice builds muscle memory. Someone said that when you practice, what you're actually doing is writing notes to your future self. And what then happens is when that big moment arrives, that little voice inside your head says to you, "You can do it." That's practice speaking. So great idea for all of us to adopt practice, deliberate practice as a part of our routine. That's what champions do. That's what we should too. And remember, the harder you practice, the luckier you get. That's it for today. Until next time, enjoy your chai. And of course, don't forget to like, to share, and of course, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of those videos.